I'm Cece Summers, and I don't know if there's going to be an ending better than everybody getting married to each other, but I guess we're going to find out. Okay, we are starting fresh. We are starting from scratch. We're starting from the beginning. We're at a point now where we're in the mansion. We summoned Gallagher. We woke up in this bedroom. We're trying to figure out, Taylor filled us in on like all the things that we're supposed to be doing. And now he's freaking the fuck out because I'm like, nah, I'm not going to leave, homie. I want to go look around and see all the things. Like, isn't that why we're here? And he's like, no. Okay, so I think last time we were just like, bro, relax, Taylor. Because Taylor, he's on thin fucking ice. But I guess we'll try to be nice to him or whatever. Sorry if I worried you. Even though I was gone for 2 fucking hours and you didn't even bother trying to come into the building. Sorry for worrying you, Taylor. If I had known that I was gonna conk out for 2 hours, I would have tried to avoid it.
I'm just really glad you're still here. I don't know what would happen to the OHSIC if I lost you.
It would go under. Just like it would when I'm there. I'm a little irked that his first priority seems to be the club, rather than my personal well-being, but I don't have the energy to die on that hill.
So, if that ghost had the power to put you to sleep, he must be a lot stronger than we anticipated.
I don't think he's gonna hurt me, though. After all, he wants to court me.
You two just met! That's rushing into things!
No, rushing into things is getting married to him. Being courted is just like dating, but even more prude because you don't even get to hold hands until way further down the line as long as you have a male chaperone. Okay, now we get to build our own bouquet. I'm going to try really hard not fuck it up this time. Okay, he did not enjoy the lyre flower. So maybe we just go with the classic rose. We just full vanilla, boring, bland, tried and true. Let's do a rose for our wedding bouquet. The rose is always a classic choice. Red means love, yes?
Red on a rose means true love, undying love, eternal love.
Oh, he so far is just digging this bouquet so much more. Sounds about right. Taylor's had me flick through a few books on flower language over the years, hoping we could lure out some ghosts with the right blooms, but I could never keep the meaning straight in my head. Maybe Elias was the type? Red roses were easy. Would he know more? Yes, I think that's a perfect choice for us then. Do we have a vase?
Of course.
With a flick of his wrist, a pile of dust on the other hand of the room collapses, and in his grasp he holds a perfectly clean, nearly translucent glass vase.
Acceptable?
I guess. Oh, much more than acceptable. And something to cut the flowers? Oh, and gloves to handle the thorns.
Of course.
He provides me with the tools and I set to work. Do I need to trim the stems before putting them in the vase? I think there was a trick to removing the thorns, but if I knew it, it's long gone.
Careful. Simply go slowly, and the rose will happily let its guard drop.
I don't think the rose has any control over that. I guide the knife he provided slowly up the stem, as parallel as possible, and when the blade hits a thorn, it cuts through like butter.
There you are. See? Not a thing to be afraid of. Not a moment that needs to be rushed.
Other than the moment we get married. That has to be rushed. But everything else, we're fine. This whole day has been a rush, hasn't it? Sure, in the sense of I've literally met a ghost after years of trying, but also all the pressure. I've had less than 48 hours to prepare for my own wedding, even if it was fake. All the sudden research, all the desperate planning, and not a breath in between. My hand slows to a crawl, and I savor the moment, pruning each thorn one by one. They fall to the greenhouse floor, decorating the tile in reddish-green points. Eventually, there are no more thorns to prune. I add another rose to the vase, hoping it looks okay. then another.
Splendid! Now, did you have thoughts on accoutrements? Accent flowers, that is.
I know what that means. Don't you condescend me, you little bitch. Oh, right, this is just a half dozen roses, not a full bouquet. I hadn't thought about it. If Elias is that into flowers, would you suggest some for us?
My pleasure and my honor. First, some baby's breath.
Of course.
Fake the flower language. If you get it right, he'll be happy. If you get it wrong, he'll have the joy of correcting you.
Unless I pick a violin on accident. Then some shit happens. Taylor's voice hisses in my ear. Baby's breath. That's something about youth, correct? Isn't it like blessing you with children or something like that? And also just like in every single fucking bouquet ever.
In this bouquet, more a symbol of innocence and purity.
I have neither of those things. Oh, I hope he doesn't get weird about purity because I definitely cannot meet Victorian standards.
They work stunningly when used sparingly. One may expect that their small size must be bolstered by great numbers, but that's simply not true.
I try to take his advice. The little white flowers slip between the roses, resting like snowflakes suspended mid-fall. Elias could make roses bloom in winter, couldn't he? I think about what an odd wedding that would be, but his hands continue to guide mine, raising the baby's breath up a smidge.
Do you see how that little bit of elevation gives the whole bouquet a sense of dynamism? Personality.
Maybe I'm just not a flower person. I don't get it. How much is a smidge? Here?
Here.
He reaches out and his hand flows through the stems, through the petals, and through my fingers, lifting my hand, along with the flowers, ever so gently. Ah!
Just like that.
And would we like more flowers in this bouquet?
Yes, I think so. What would you say to lemon balm?
I would say... I don't know what that is.
I'd ask how closely related they are to lemons.
Of course you would. There's Taylor with the snark. Again. Of course.
Only some leaves, green and small. Perfect for filling in the gaps and adding a rich aroma.
It just looks like fucking weeds. It just looks like a bunch of weeds. What am I missing? Do they mean something about sweetness? Probably best not to ask about sourness.
Sympathy and compassion. Though speaking of sweetness, these leaves do make a nice tea.
Ah, perhaps you could brew us a few cups when we're done here. It would just taste like weeds.
Oh, what an excellent idea. Yes, I think we shall have that lemon balm tea.
All right, let's save some of this for the kettle. I tuck some of the leaves around the edge of the vase, and following Elias's suggestions with the baby's breath, I make sure to raise some up too. I try to keep it beneath the more exciting flowers, but every now and then I make sure a few of the little buds of baby's breath barely peek out from the bottoms of the lemon balm. The more exciting flowers is just roses. I think I'm just jaded. Elias watches me with a polite smile, the same one I've seen so many times now, but his eyes are brighter, giving him away again. This time, he's trying to downplay his joy. Would you like to help arrange?
I would love to.
And Elias returns his hands to the vase, carefully making sure that what he adds complements what I've composed. Even though I've never done this before, even though I've never looked so closely at a bouquet, I can tell what I've touched and what he's touched. And honestly, altogether it looks pretty good.
Lovely.
Thank you.
I think one last flower. And you should choose, my dear.
He shows me two different flowers, one of flat, delicate yellow petals, and one of thin, wispy strands of purple. I don't recognize either. If it's my choice again, I choose to savor it, to roll the flowers around in my hand and let them delight me. Why not? I don't have to understand their meanings to find them beautiful. The yellow ones. Guess I don't get to pick then.
The yarrow. Excellent.
The fuck is yarrow? I admit that I'm unfamiliar with these.
A symbol of everlasting love.
Of course it is.
Again?
We just got a lot of everlasting love, okay? I chose everlasting love twice. Double eternity. I try not to think about it. They're only flowers, after all. Elias and I return our hands to the bouquet, adding the final touches.
The flowers look absolutely gorgeous, my dear. But still nowhere near as lovely as you.
Thanks. Thank you, Elias. I can feel my heart hammering in my chest. They're just plants. Innocent little flowers. Flowers with too many meanings. Too many promises.
Is something the matter, dearest? You look a bit pale.
I must admit that I'm a bit tired. Would it be all right for me to rest a little before we continue preparing for the ceremony?
Of course. You mustn't exert yourself too much. Please feel free to choose any room on the ground floor. Though, you'll have to excuse the state of disarray it may be in.
Thank you, my love.
And do not worry about the mess here. I shall clean up and rejoin you after I check something in the study.
Elias bows as I turn to leave the greenhouse. My steps feel heavy as I return to the hallway. I wasn't expecting floral arrangements to be that intense.
Hey, are you doing all right now?
I'll live.
Might be time to see what you can get up to before your rendezvous with Elias.
I nod my head, as if Taylor can somehow see me through the earpiece. We were in the dining room. We just had that weird apparition of Violet with the fucking knife and her big fancy hat coming at us. And we're telling Taylor what we saw. DuPont. Violet DuPont. I spit out the name without thinking. I know whoever I saw was a woman, but was it really Violet?
I'm starting to think there are some other spirits in this mansion besides Elias. Why else would there be interference when he's not even in the room?
Goodness, are you quite all right?
I look up at the sound of Elias's voice.
Why do you look so pale?
Oh, my sweet Elias, Am I gonna tell him that I had a vision of someone? Probably the woman he was supposed to marry, charging at me with a knife? It simply feels as though 1,000 years have passed since I last saw you, my love, and I began to feel a bit lonely. Okay, we just searched all through the ground floor. We had the vision of Violet coming at us with a knife and a fancy hat, trying to kill us. And now we get the opportunity to explore a room, but we can only explore one. And last time we went into Elias's bedroom. And we found the broken hand mirror, which I feel like ended up being a waste of time anyways, because he ended up showing us the hand mirror later on anyways. So we can stay in the dining room and maybe try to figure out what the fuck is going on with Violet and if she's still here. Or we can go to the study because he was saying there was something he needed to check on in the study. And maybe there's secrets. I don't know. I guess we kind of explored everything in the dining room. Maybe we'll go to the study and be like, "What's up, Elias? What's your secrets? What are you hiding in here? The secret things you get." I want to revisit the study. We might find something out about the Gallagher family business, or that curse that killed them all.
Not a bad plan. Archibald Gallagher made his office in that study, so he talked business deals there.
I exit the dining room and head towards the study, back to where I first found Elias after waking up. Did you have any theories about the curse, by the way, Taylor?
I know about as much as you do. Perhaps one of those shuttered small businesses cast black magic on the family in retaliation for Archibald using them as a stepping stone on his way to the top. Mr. Archibald Gallagher was known to be a rather stern and ruthless businessman.
Guess we'll see if we can find any evidence of that in the ledgers. Back in the study, the gentle aroma of chamomile tea permeates the room. Everything looks to be the same as the first time I was in here. It looks like it's business as usual.
What does that mean?
The tea set that Elias had out is still here, and there's way too many books to look through. Not sure where to start.
Unless he took a nap, he'd have to have been doing something.
I scanned the room once more, spotting a few new books on the desk. Maybe Elias was looking at those? I'll start at the desk. There's some volumes here I didn't catch before.
Sounds good.
Uh-oh. Static cuts Taylor off again, while a rush of dizziness knocks me into the chair. Not again. Hushed, hurried voices emanate in the darkness. Heavy feet stomp on plush rugs. Tension and anger loom in the air. Louder, louder, they're yelling, they're shouting. Which way is up? Which way is down? I don't know if I'm standing or floating or sitting or lying. I can't feel anything. I'm suffocating, my lungs are bursting. I want to cry. A tiny ray of light blinds me. I rush towards it in hopes of it granting me solace, cupping my hands around it so it doesn't escape. Inside the light is a little motion picture. 2 figures in the study, one taller and older in a chair, the other much more youthful, leaning on a cane held in his right hand. The figure is vaguely familiar, yet I barely recognize him. His skin isn't translucent and blue. It's Elias. Well, howdy do, Elias. We've seen this picture. We just got it super early, I guess.
Blast it all. Your sister died earlier this spring, and already we have to make arrangements for the next funeral.
And it's all your fault, Elias. You fucker.
Father, if you would let me speak just once.
What is it, Elias? I don't have time for idle chatter from a child like you.
Elias taps his cane on the carpet several times in barely restrained protest, though the man named Archibald Gallagher doesn't notice.
I am not a child anymore. I am already of age, and I'd like to make a single request of you. It will not be too much trouble to you, Father.
And what would that be?
Obviously, he wants to marry somebody.
My mirror has been in need of repair for the longest time. If you could have someone restore it.
Obviously, he wants someone to repair his mirror.
What mirror?
Grandmother's mirror. The one that used to be in the attic. It shattered. But I still have all the pieces.
Archibald turns toward his son in disgust.
You still have that trash in your room. You dare ask me to repair it after you broke it?
But he didn't break it. Elias's knuckles turn white on his left fist while he's trying to keep as much of a neutral face as he can.
It wasn't me, it was...
I have no time for your childish sentimentality, Elias. That mirror is worth nothing, and I have much more pressing matters to attend to. Leave now, or I'll have one of the servants remove you!
Father, I can walk on my own 2 feet just fine.
There's a reason he killed you. If Archibald heard Elias, he certainly didn't care to react. Elias grips his cane tightly before turning towards the door, and in the process, our eyes meet. My breath hitches in my throat before I can muster the willpower to do anything else. And just like that, the scene disappears with a blink.
Copy! Hey! Do you copy?
Taylor! My vision adjusts, and suddenly I'm back in the study I walked into. A cold sweat clings to my skin.
Another vision?
Yeah, I'm still not used to these. These things are way worse than the one time Taylor and I tried experimenting with weed and got a bad batch.
Give me a status report.
I steady my breath and grip the arms of the chair as I sink down. I landed in the chair at least, and this time I saw Archibald Gallagher. He was arranging the next family funeral, and Elias wanted him to fix a mirror?
A mirror?
He said it belonged to his grandmother.
I'll see what I can find out about it. Was there anything else?
One of the other things I saw was that Elias was using a cane, and his dad said something about having servants remove him like he was an object.
What The actual fuck!
Aw. Poor serial killer. I don't know. Archibald said it as if Elias couldn't leave the study on his own, like he had zero autonomy. And of course, Elias was really upset. Fuck. I'm upset about it.
Take your time to catch your breath. Let me know when you're ready.
I close my eyes and take in another deep breath. These flashbacks or memories or whatever are extremely tiring. But assuming they're all from Elias's life? I shudder a little. I can't believe he had to go through that. I almost want to cry for him, but I don't know if I have enough time to do that right now. I need to focus. I bring the chair up to the desk and immediately start rifling through the books. There's a series of large notebooks filled with sheets upon sheets of information, aged yellow from the passage of time. I think I found the old Gallagher business ledgers, journals detailing where all the assets are as well. I flip through more pages, more books. There's bank names, but no clue as to where the jewels might be.
So close, yet so far.
I reach the end of the final notebook and stare stunned at the last leaf. Unlike the other pages written in neat black ink, a red scrawl screams at me. The hell?
What's wrong?
The last page of the ledger says, "Those without fortune cling to what they can." It is written in red ink like someone was desperate.
Wow, that's ominous and not helpful at all. What does it even mean?
Elias is probably the only one who knows. I sift through the ledgers once more. After a sigh, I put the books away.
Nothing else?
Only hastily scribbled locations. I think I'd better get back. I quickly put everything away where I found it, then stand up from the desk. After scanning the study one last time, I head out back into the hallway. Just as I'm a few paces from the study, I see Elias turn the corner with a giant grin on his face.
Good news, my dear. I have recovered the recipes. No need to fret any longer.
Hooray! I jump as he floats closer, quickly trying to regain my composure. Elias, completely oblivious to my panic, continues giving me a reassuring smile.
It's all right, my dear. Now then, have you decided on a flavor?
Choose funfetti! Choose funfetti!
God damn it, Taylor. Ignoring Taylor, I choose... Okay, I believe we chose lemon and lavender last time, so we're gonna go with some tried and true and boring vanilla cake to go with our tried and true and boring rose bouquet. And I'm sorry if you're feeling attacked, if roses are your favorite flower, but that's because you are being attacked. Stop being basic. Not me sitting here saying this as if I didn't have vanilla cake with strawberries at my own wedding in real life. Vanilla!
An excellent choice. You have the most wonderful taste, my dear.
Obviously.
Please, let me handle the remainder. If you wish to rest, please. I encourage you to do so.
Thank you, Elias. I shall take you up on that offer. Elias bows before floating off to some other part of the manor, leaving me alone again. Okay, he's gone.
Hey, bud, you sound really exhausted. You should find some place to sit down and rest.
You know, I probably should do that, Taylor, because you've been absolutely fucking no help at all. I'm coming in there, okay. Maybe you should have done that full 2 hours ago, when I disappeared off the face of the earth.
Maybe we should go over everything we've learned so far.
Okay. I don't know how much time I have, but we might as well try.
Assume you have a little, so talk as fast as you can.
Elias has been nothing but a complete gentleman to me. Shame about the rest of the house, but his heart seems like it's in the right place.
If you say so.
He's quite impressive at making bouquets. Maybe I am too. Should we take this back to the campus?
Take what? Ghostly flower arrangements?
Yeah. Someone's gotta be interested. And there's no flower club at the university. It's an avenue at least.
There has to be more that you found. Please?
Just teasing. Of course there's more. Is it just me, or does it look like the wall, like next to the sink, is facing the toilet? Like there is a wall that it is just inches away from where your legs are. Like, you look like you have to kind of like pick your leg up and straddle the toilet like a horse in order to sit on it. That sighting of Violet in the dining room was a lot. Like, a lot.
I know, and I didn't even see it.
I think in that brief moment, I hated her.
Whoa.
Why shouldn't I? She shouldn't be here. She shouldn't be haunting Elias. She's the true danger. And truth be told, I don't know if her spirit's actually here at all. She might simply be a figment of Elias's memories.
So Elias is the true danger then?
No, that's not what I said.
You're starting to worry me.
You've been worrying me. And then there's what happened just now. That vision I had while looking at Archibald's ledger was really intense. God, I felt so frustrated and he wasn't even talking to me.
I still haven't found anything online about whatever mirror Elias was talking about. Did he mention how big it was? Like, are we talking a hand mirror or a standing mirror?
My psychic powers are telling me a hand mirror. Just watch, you're gonna be in shock and awe when it turns out to be a hand mirror. You're gonna be like, oh dang, how did you do that? How did you know? Intuition. I don't think he brought it up. All he said was that it belonged to his grandmother.
Do you think it's a red herring? Though, breaking a mirror is pretty bad luck.
And the ones who broke it died. But then again, so did he. Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Maybe it's the source of the curse.
Grandma just really fucking hated everybody. And if Elias still has the pieces of that mirror, we can get to the bottom of this whole ordeal.
That would definitely be something we can boast about. Solving a centuries-old curse. I'm just not sure you should tackle that tonight. Honestly, and I mean it this time, I want you to leave this place.
You haven't meant it any other time?
There's something very wrong going on. Nothing we read said anything like this would happen.
Taylor, calm down. I know this wasn't what we expected, but what were we expecting exactly? Be honest, did you think this would actually pan out? No, he was trying to fucking set us up like he set us up last time. We've been magically transported to Elias's bedroom. He leads me to a door, then opens it. Inside is a bedroom similar to the one I awoke in. Elegant and ornate, if not a bit barren.
Just a moment, my dear.
He lets go of my arm, making his way to the vanity. Instead of reaching for one of the drawers, he presses his hand against the wall, causing the vanity to lower and reveal a hidden compartment. I knew this mansion had at least one secret passage. Yes, give me my family jewels.
Ah, here we are then.
Okay, we chose the necklace last time for the drama, but I think I'm going to choose the ring this time because that's just kind of what I would pick if I were being presented with some family jewels. I pick up the ring, inspecting it closer. The name Gallagher is engraved on the inner band with fancy cursive lettering. Elias gently takes it from me and slips it over my finger. It slides on easily without being too loose or too tight.
A perfect fit. Like it was made for you.
What finger? What finger did you put it on? It's quite gorgeous. Is there a story behind this ring? A bright smile blooms on Elias's face as he kisses my hand, the diamond sparkling on my finger.
My grandfather held a high post as a military officer, being the personal guard to several members of the royal family in England. He was humble and full of wit, and thus could predict the enemy's movements far in advance. Why, during his time, he actually thwarted an assassination attempt.
Wow. My eyes widen. Oh my, that's quite the life he must have lived.
Indeed. They offered him a gift for stopping the attempted regicide, the deed to a gem mine. It was quite successful, and on top of that, he managed to increase the productivity quite a bit. That's how he himself rose to aristocracy.
Elias' smile softens, his eyes sparkling as he regales the tale.
When a civil war broke out, he fled to America with my grandmother, my father, and only a few belongings. it wasn't quite enough to maintain their previous lifestyle, at least not immediately. Yet regardless of how much they struggled, he still refused to sell the jewels. They represented everything he had been through, his dedication and hope despite the hardships. That determination inspired my father to start a business of his own. Eventually, he became a cameo baron beyond compare.
A what?
Eventually, he became a cameo baron beyond compare.
What? Elias lets out an awkward chuckle, looking away in embarrassment.
I suppose I pale in relation. I never amounted to anything when compared to the great deeds my grandfather, father, and siblings accomplished in their lifetimes.
Nonsense. I squeeze his hand compassionately. You grew up kind, dear Elias, hopeful and determined, just like your grandfather. It doesn't matter that it didn't apply to business. It certainly applies to your heart.
Thank you, my love. Your kindness shines a light in the dark cloud of my thoughts. Let us dispel such unpleasantness now. Shall we take our leave for the ceremony?
But the mirror. I want to know about the mirror. I do my best to nod and smile, the weight of his words still heavy in my heart. My arm wraps around his. We shall. We exit his bedroom together and go down the stairs one last time, my new accessory adding weight to my every step.
Soon we shall be wed, my darling, and we'll have all of eternity together. Are you excited?
So excited. Elias sure seems to be. I don't know how to answer that, whether I should be sincere and tell him the truth or continue the charade. I spent the whole night here, but I have more questions than I have answers. So many loose ends and no way to tie them. And yet, I'm about to tie the knot with a man I barely know while I have no idea if the other one will reach me in time. Let's see! Oh. We all got married again. Hang on there a second. Well, that didn't fucking work. Okay, so we still have a couple things we haven't done yet. Like, we haven't picked the zinnias, which are the orange flowers, right? And then we haven't stayed in the study. And we haven't chosen the earrings yet. So I'll try that and then just start kind of like throwing combos around from there. We're going with the zinnia, this fucking orange crush flower, apparently. I would like the orange flowers. They're so striking.
Yes, they are.
Hey, are you actually any good at flower arrangement? I want to see this bouquet.
Well, to do that, you would have actually had to come in. Honestly, I have no idea what I'm doing, but I need to play it as coy as possible. Do you think they'll make a good centerpiece?
Heck yeah! Orange is a great color and flavor.
Relax.
They're quite sentimental flowers. And I suppose that neither of us can simply drop sentimentality so easily.
True, you'd likely have moved on from this mansion otherwise.
And you wouldn't be here either. I trust you understand the significance. Now, what accoutrements would you like to add to this? There are so many, and I want to see what you pick.
Ooh, pick something he won't expect. Something really bold.
I mean, orange is already pretty fucking bold. What could possibly stand out as bold against these bright orange flowers? Here, these lilies. The ruddy pink is striking, and these stripes are so eye-catching.
The Peruvian lilies are certainly eye-catching. You seem to be quite a maximalist.
I wouldn't argue with that. Elias blushes. I'm quite used to exuberance in my life. Now how about these white-tipped ones with the pink interiors?
So much pink! But the pear blossoms and their white tips do add a particular gentleness.
Of course, I hope you're not implying that that's too much pink because there's no such thing. Pink is the best color ever. Is that gentle? Honestly, these 3 flowers together, added piece by piece into the glass vase, are blaring at me. I didn't think they'd be so forceful when combined.
So, how's it looking? Is he impressed? If you get a chance, take a picture. Wait, are they ghost flowers? Can you even take pictures of ghost flowers?
Elias, seeing as how these aren't exactly normal flowers, how long will this bouquet last?
As long as we both desire it and tend to it.
How do you tend to a ghost flower? I've not tended to spirit flowers before.
It's easier than you may imagine, but you have to listen to them first. They say much more than you expect.
That doesn't make this any less confusing. What's this bouquet saying now?
Collectively, that your loneliness leads you to needing.
Except it's probably more like, your loneliness leads you to needing. Because, you know, they're loud. Needing what? Yes, dear Elias?
A friend.
Oh.
Quick! Pick something a bit more dramatic.
Taylor's right, but I have to be more careful, more thoughtful. If the flowers are trying to speak to me, okay, just breathe and try to pick something that isn't so striking. An accoutrement, as Elias suggested. It doesn't have to be big, doesn't have to be fancy. May I add these smaller flowers to the bouquet?
The Queen Anne's lace. Yes, that is a very interesting choice.
Explain it to me, please. I listened with my heart, but I'm not yet sure how to decipher what it means in my mind.
There is a desire for sanctuary hidden within you. That pain you feel. It runs deeper than one sad day, doesn't it?
So many days. Quite like today, the day of my wedding day.
Bud, you doing okay over there?
I suppose it must. Make it work. Make them believe it. Maybe I was too hasty with my vows. Yes, that was most certainly it. Could I blame them for leaving me? It was my fault, wasn't it? Trying to please them without truly understanding them? Trying to please myself without even understanding my own needs?
I doubt it was your fault. That it could be so simple.
Elias sighs, once more cupping my hands in his own.
Dearest, you've created a beautiful bouquet. One that comes from the deepest of hearts. I'll treasure the Zinnias and their friends forever.
Elias, thank you for understanding.
Do you need space to rest?
In a sense. May I be alone for a moment?
Yes, of course. Come find me in the study when you're ready, my love.
Wait, ready for what? I thought we came to an understanding that we're rushing into this. He floats out of the greenhouse, phasing through a wall, and my breath returns to me. My heart is pounding in my chest like a cannon.
All right. Did he buy it?
Taylor, do you think what he said?
Bud? What he said about what? You trailed off.
Is that bouquet what I really want? Friendship and security and safety?
I mean, is it? I don't know what to tell you. I guess they're not bad things to want, especially when you're not interested in marrying a ghost.
Says you. Yeah, I guess I don't know when flowers mean now and when they mean forever.
They probably don't mean anything at all.
It is still a bouquet I like. Here. I pull out my phone, snap a picture. And the flowers are there on my screen just as they are in front of me. Have some ghost flowers, Taylor. I shoot the picture to him via text.
Holy crap! Man, I bet you'll never get them out of the mansion, unfortunately. I should have tried inventing a containment unit for ectobotany.
I'm not liking how much he's enjoying this bouquet. You'd never figure that out without spectral plants to test on, you goof.
Hey, never say never. If anyone could do it, I bet it would be us.
My steps feel heavy as I return to the hallway. I wasn't expecting floral arrangements to be that intense.
Hey, are you doing all right now?
I'll live. Okay. The only one we haven't done yet is staying in the dining room. So maybe we try that. See if anything fun happens. That vision with Violet, or whoever I saw just now, is really bothering me. I'm staying here to inspect the glass cabinet a little more.
Be careful, all right?
Can't tell me what to do, bitch. I pull myself out of the chair and step towards the cabinet and its book once more. This time, nothing seems to appear.
Though, how are you going to explain to Elias that you're basically staying put?
We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. I swing the cabinet door open and shut, investigating it from multiple angles. Then, I take out a book to inspect it. The words are nothing but jumbled Old English to me. Man, some of this stuff is illegible.
Too hard to read?
More like too hard to understand. Do people really talk like this?
I don't know. You seem to do a pretty good job of it.
Shut up. I slot the book back in place and cough as dust gets into my nose.
You okay there, bud?
Even though this place looks clean, the dust in this cabinet is still very real.
Maybe that was Elias's plan all along. Death by choking on dust.
Well, maybe you should be coming in here and finding out. I roll my eyes.
See anything new?
Not really. I wonder where the kitchen is in this place.
Oh, no. You probably don't want to go into the kitchen even if you're able to find it. Oh, imagine the mildew and rot. Ugh.
Do we think there's even still food in here? You think so? You know, since you love comparing yourself to Egon so much, I bet you'd love something like that. Somewhere covered in mold. Taylor laughs heartily, the sound light in my ear.
Well, if we're comparing each other to Ghostbusters characters, I am the brains of the operation. Egon just makes sense.
If anything, you're the fucking keymaster. I was thinking you're more of a Janine. Your red hair and cute face is much better suited for that role. We got one! Taylor makes an odd, barely noticeable noise, then clears his throat. It's probably because I said he has a cute face. Don't read too much into it, Taylor. Get fucked.
I knew it. You do think I'm cute.
Shut up. Anyway, I think I deserve some credit. You may be the planner, but I'm the one about to marry a ghost.
Hey!
Would that make me the Bill Murray of the Ghostbusters? I smile at the pout in his voice.
I would have joined you, but backup is important. I'm prioritizing the evidence and trying to avoid Elias's suspicions.
Sure, pal. I shuffle back and lower myself into one of the chairs at the dinner table. Is that really the reason? Or are you worried you won't be able to hide your insatiable desire to be ravished by a ghost? I pause for a second, smirking. You know, I found that notebook you left in the clubroom last week. The one filled with lewd fan fiction. Try as you might, you aren't that subtle.
Ah!
His squeal is enough to make me stifle a laugh. Taylor clears his throat, his voice lowering.
I have no clue what you're talking about.
I take a deep breath before sighing dramatically. She had me pinned against the wall. Her lips left a trail of fire along my skin as she... I cease, realizing he hasn't tried to stop me. He then speaks, his voice soft and low.
I'm not writing about ghosts.
If you're about to tell me you're writing about me, I'm gonna come out of this mansion and punch you right in your forehead. I raise an eyebrow. Then what are you writing about?
It doesn't matter. And it's not fanfiction.
So you're not a fan of me?
Just get back to the mission.
Taylor sounds unusually meek right now. Maybe I stepped on a nerve. Hey, I'm sorry. Didn't mean to make you uncomfortable.
It's okay, bud. How are you doing over there with all those visions and everything?
Honestly, it's a lot all at once. But hearing your voice through this all really keeps me calm. I do not enjoy the direction this path is going. Of course, the first path that I find that isn't marrying both of them is marrying him. Raise your standards. He obviously has No fucks about our well-being. I can almost pick up a smile in his voice as he replies softly.
Good. I'm glad.
I better get going somewhere before I waste too much time. I pushed the chair back and tried to stand up, but the leg catches on my clothes. Ah!
What's going on?
Are you alright?
Out of nowhere, Elias grabs my hand, his other arm wrapping around my waist as he studies me. Elias, My vision blurs as the scene before me dissipates and molds into something else entirely. I see Elias surrounded by his siblings and father, all of them shouting and jeering. Horrible, terrible things in a mocking tone, making fun of him, calling him weak, a mistake. Grief and guilt fill my heart before I snap back to reality. I'm leaning against the wall, Elias kneeling next to me. He looks exhausted.
I apologize. I should have come for you sooner. Are you alright?
Are you okay? What happened? You suddenly shouted and...
See, because of the two of them, because both of them sound concerned, but which one actually came to see if I was okay? I nod, my heart pounding out of my chest. I'm alright.
I am relieved to hear that.
Oh, thank God.
Fuck off, Taylor. Elias, did you feel that connection? Elias nods.
If only for a brief moment, yes. I saw a red-headed gentleman smiling at you. Who is that, if I may ask?
He's just some guy. He's just some dude. Don't even worry about it. I don't even like him. Taylor immediately pops into my mind. A friend. He's a friend. I swear I catch a flash of jealousy across Elias's face, but it dissipates just as quickly as it appeared.
I would love to meet your friend.
I would love for you to meet him as well, and I'm sure he would be excited for the opportunity too. I don't think he'd be excited, and I don't want you to meet him. He's trash. Elias's expression softens as he leads me away from the dining room and into one of the many hallways.
Anyways, my darling, I did come back to find you, as I have finally uncovered my grandmother's recipes. If you can tell me which one you'd like, I will make preparations while you freshen up.
Oh, I'd really appreciate that. When it comes to the cake, I think I'd like to try... We'll try the tea one, because we haven't tried that one yet.
An excellent choice. You have the most wonderful taste, my dear.
Duh.
Please, let me handle the remainder. If you wish to rest, please, I encourage you to do so.
Done deal, homie. Done deal. Okay, we're debriefing in this tiny... We're straddling the toilet like a horse and we're debriefing about the day. What exactly did you think about what happened with the flower arrangements?
I got to see some beautiful ghost flowers, I suppose, but Elias might not buy your story anymore. That may be a good thing.
How would it be a good thing?
Easy. Marrying an actual, literal ghost has got to be hazardous to your health. Maybe you can keep it up for a while, but eventually your facade will slip. And then what? The longer you wait, the bigger the heartbreak. He's been waiting so long.
Don't pretend like you give a shit about him either, Taylor. You've been nothing but a douchebag to us since the moment we walked in this house.
The best you'll get is a sad marriage where neither of you actually like each other, but if you bring it up, you just end up losing what you have. And at worst, he makes sure you can never leave. I don't want you to be stuck in that mansion, but even if we get nothing from it.
I don't think we'll get nothing out of it. But what really worries me is Violet. I don't know what's going on with her. I don't know why she's here, but I want to get away from her if I can.
Can you make it so she doesn't appear? Any rituals or anything?
Why the fuck would I know rituals? Who do you think I am? I think it's up to Elias, not me. It could be that she's part of his memories.
I'm really starting to not like that guy.
What do you mean, starting? Then there's what happened just now.
When Elias touched you again?
Yeah, part of my outfit got caught by the chair and I nearly tripped, but he caught me just in time. I had another vision. This time I saw his family mocking him. I couldn't really make out what they were all saying, but it definitely wasn't praise.
What concerns me more is that he mentioned seeing me. Was he reading your mind? It almost sounded like you two were exchanging memories.
I have no idea. I'm able to hold his hand without triggering any memories sometimes, but we were both stressed out at the time, so...
I don't like that he's capable of reading your memories, even if this time wasn't intentional. What happens if he finds out that you're faking all of this? Honestly, and I mean it this time, I want you to leave this place.
All right. Elias is sweetly cupping his sweet family jewels in his hands and is offering one of them to me. And this time I'm going to choose the earrings, because we haven't done that yet. I pick up the earrings. They're delicate, yet ornate. I sigh softly, taking my time to inspect them closer. But despite my attempts to focus on the jewelry, I hear Taylor's warnings echo in my head over and over. It's actually discomforting, not having heard his voice for so long while I'm stuck in this mansion. I should have asked him to come sooner. You shouldn't have had to.
Are they not to your liking? If you prefer something else, surely I can...
Oh, that's not it at all. The earrings are gorgeous. I pause, giving Elias a sheepish smile. My act is starting to slip without Taylor's commentary to ground me. He said to stall for time. I need to stall for time. I'm just a touch worried about how safe it is to wear these. The mansion itself is decaying, and if the jewelry is rusted anywhere, it may irritate my skin. Elias chuckles lightly. He motions for me to put on the earrings.
It's entirely safe. I have kept them in a secure location and check on them frequently. You have nothing to fear.
The earrings could be cursed too. Once you put them on, they'll never come off. Or maybe Elias will take over your body. Or at least that's what I think Taylor would say if he heard that. I nearly snort at the thought, but stop myself before I do. Well, better not decline Elias's wishes. I carefully slip them on. Nothing happens. See, Taylor, I'm perfectly fine. Thank you for allowing me to borrow the earrings, Elias. They must be very precious to you. A slight blush flushes on Elias's cheeks.
Please, do keep them on for our ceremony. And beyond. Once we are wed, everything in my name will be yours.
Everything. Elias really is serious about marrying me. I'm actually going to marry a dead man, aren't I? This isn't a joke. You're far too kind, Elias. Elias smiles back genuinely. I want to scream, but I hold my tongue. I'm too young to get married, damn it.
Shall we make our way outside? Everything is prepared for the ceremony.
Of course. I think I'll settle for screaming inside my brain. We exit his bedroom together and go down the stairs one last time, my new accessory adding weight to my every step. Taylor is coming, but Elias is only interested in me. Even if Elias is kind, I don't know what he'll do if his second attempt at marriage fails. This whole night, Taylor has been on edge. I can't really blame him. I've worried my best friend ever since Elias entered the picture. And yet, he was still sitting in the fucking car while you've been dealing with this by yourself. What good is backup if you're not gonna back me up? Why am I so worried about Taylor when I'm the one who's probably in more danger? Yeah, I don't know that either.
My love, what's on your mind?
Nothing. I really am a bad actor in the end.
Where we go from here is up to them to decide.
I can't do this. I can't marry you, Elias. You're very kind, but I've only gotten to know you for one night. That's not nearly enough time for me to declare my eternal, undying love to you. But Taylor, on the other hand, I've known him for years. He's my bestie, even if he's kinda obnoxious.
Hey!
Kinda. Or an immature pervert.
Come on.
And makes me do a lot of his dirty work. All of his dirty work.
Okay, fine. That part is fair.
Because at the end of the day, I know Taylor always has my back. We're always looking out for each other, and I think that's what makes the stable foundation for... Taylor's jaw drops as a blush spreads across his face, while Elias studies the both of us silently. So marrying you like this just to fulfill your wish wouldn't be fair, because I can't give you the love you crave, the love you deserve. I hope you'll understand and forgive me. See, this logic, totally get it. This action, I can respect it. But then going after Taylor, that's where you start to lose me a little bit.
This is nothing like the romances I've read in novels, nor the kind I've seen my parents or even siblings divulge in. It's clumsy, ridiculous even. Why, it's hardly romantic.
He's not wrong.
And yet, those were the most genuine words I've heard from you this entire night. You hold those sentiments quite dear. So this is what true love is.
In a platonic pat you on the back, hey buddy kind of way, sure.
Hang on. Does that mean you'll actually go out with me?
I'm willing to give it the good old college try, at least. Elias clasps his hands together and brightens up in spite of the fact that I just rejected him.
Waste not, want not. I shall officiate your wedding then.
Elias, calm down.
Whoa there, easy now. Are we really doing this? I'm not even ready.
Do you take Taylor Potts to be your lawfully wedded husband? To live together in matrimony? To love him, comfort him, honor and keep him?
No.
In sickness and in health?
No.
In sorrow and in joy?
No.
To have and to hold
No.
from this day forward?
No.
As long as you both shall live?
No. Elias is really determined to see some kind of wedding today. Elias is really determined to see some kind of wedding today, so I might as well entertain him. I do.
And do you, Taylor, take them to be your lawfully wedded spouse, to return their affections and so on and so forth?
Taylor scrunches up his face when Elias doesn't repeat the same ceremonial speech for his part of the vows.
Shoot. I guess? Aren't we moving a little fast for...
By the authority vested in me as the final heir to the Gallagher family, I now pronounce you married.
Oh, yay!
You may now kiss.
I don't want to. Taylor looks at me, then at Elias, then back to me, mouth opening and closing like a fish out of water. All Elias does is motion at him to do something. I eventually sigh and just pull Taylor towards me, smashing my face into his. Look at him giggling in the background. He is obviously the vastly superior human. Like, come on. Elias laughs and claps his hands together, clearly elated by our antics.
Splendid show! Now quickly, follow me to the study.
Elias glides out of the ballroom while I drag Taylor behind me, still sputtering and confused over what just happened. Elias pulls out a paper from the drawer and clasps his hands together, causing it to glow with a ghostly light.
Here we are. My will, freshly written. I think you two will be pleased.
Taylor and I scan the document.
I, Elias Gallagher, former head of the Gallagher estate, hereby leave all my material possessions, including the Gallagher family jewels, and the manor itself to the newlywed Potts. The Potts?
Farewell, my dear friends. Please use my family's fortune for your honeymoon, or whatever else you may need it for.
Elias, what are you doing? With a final bow, Elias quickly fades from the room. Aw, I hope this is him moving on and not just like fucking off to a corner of the mansion to cry.
So, what do you want to do for our first date?
Hibernate. After a full 24 hours of uninterrupted sleep, Taylor looked up whether my surname actually was legally going to be Potts now. No. Considering a ghost officiating a wedding, and not even an ordained ghost at that, isn't exactly legally binding, Taylor and I decided to take our relationship slow. No marriage. Not yet. Hopefully Elias wasn't going to be too mad about that. After doctoring the will a little bit to fix my last name, we laid claim to the fortunes left in the Gallagher mansion. Can you even do that? Like, how do you do that? How do you doctor a will without it being obvious that you changed it? And also, how is it that the will can even be, like, realized? Because he is a ghost that's been dead for how long now? And they, very, very long, like generations before they were even born. And he left his entire fortune to them? I would be like, this is fake. This is a fake ass will. No, I'm not giving you this mansion. Get fucked. Like, what? The family jewels turned out to be worth a hell of a lot of money. Enough to pay off both our student debts and then some. But we got so caught up in trying to figure out how to work with our sudden and unexpected inheritance that we forgot to recruit new members for the club.
It sucks that we lost the OHSIC. But who needs them? We can probably fund our own activities for a while.
I think we should go easy on the spending for a while, or at least stop buying the name brand orange soda.
What? But the generic store brand just doesn't have the same flavor profile. The recipe is completely different, and the ratios of high fructose corn syrup and...
I kiss him deeply on the mouth once more to shut him up. Stupid that it works, but he doesn't protest when I pull away with a wry smile. You're a dork.
Yeah, I am.
Of course this is the ending I would get. Well, next time we're gonna get the better ending, i.e. marrying Elias instead, because at least he is actually concerned about us. Just remember that true best friends wouldn't leave you stranded in a mansion with a ghost, not knowing if you're alive or dead for over 2 hours before you finally reach out to them to let them know that you're okay. And I'll see you later.